your final destination? Do you know?
No.
You should. If not, watch the movie Final Destination, Bloodlines, because that is what we are reviewing today.
Look, I'm not God. I'm not some kind of psychic or medium or anything of that nature. No.
Just don't be in a movie called Final Destination, because that means you are going to have a final destination in that movie somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and talk about, because we've seen all of these, right?
Right.
Every single one of them. I'm going to keep seeing every single one of them no matter what, because I like them. I'd like to see the interesting kills in here like I do with Saw. And I love Final Destination even more. So let's go ahead and talk about the movie, Miss Jules. First, let's talk about who's in it. And then, come on, we know what it's about, but we're going to tell you anyways. All right.
It's rated R because of all the violence and the deadly kills.
Yeah.
It's 1 hour and 50 minutes long. Oh, my gosh. It stars Caitlin Santawana. She plays Stephanie, the main character that we see.
Okay.
Tio Briones plays her brother Charlie. Raya Kilstelt plays their grandmother, and they bring back Tony Todd for one of his last performances.
And we're going to talk about that. It was just touching. So go ahead and tell them what it's about, like with the other million of them.
So Bloodlines, and as some of you know that may have seen the trailer or heard them talk about this, they're taking it back to the beginning. So, plagued by a recurring violent nightmare, a college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. So she's having like nightmares and visions of like what she thinks is her grandmother. You know, she's hearing her grandmother's name, but she never met her grandmother, and she's like, is this real? Is this not?
Am I crazy?
She keeps waking up screaming, so her roommate's like, go home.
Go see her.
You know?
Go see what's up with your grandma.
Yeah, because I can't get any sleep, and if I don't get any sleep, I'm going to kill you.
That is how you feel with no sleep, True.
Right?
Trust me.
Right?
So let's go ahead and get into this. So this is just like the other ones. It's just a different little story, Bloodlines, because they're relatives in here. Where they're, like she said, she's trying to figure out what's going on with her grandma. Why don't nobody want me to see my grandma? Why everybody call her crazy? Why y'all treat her like this? I'm going to go see my grandma because something's wrong with me. I'm seeing
Nobody
stuff.
wanted to give her answers or anything. She's like, I'm having these dreams, these nightmares, and it seems like visions, and she's named names, and they're kind of looking at her like, you know, are you crazy too? Like your grandma and your mom? Because the mom was crazy too, they said. And she's like, I don't know. I just want to get answers. And so that's where the movie,
the gist of the movie is at.
Takes off, yeah.
And it starts like in the beginning. It took them a minute to get into it. But what I got is that they were giving us some of the backstory of the two characters.
Right.
When they were younger, you know, going up on this insane building, which you can see through to the end of the world when you're looking
like
down.
The tower in Seattle. They have a tower? The needle? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But with glass floors. So imagine you're up super high like that, and then you have glass floors. Like,
And you know, they have you seen the pools they have like that? Like in some really super fancy hotels.
In movies,
yeah. Oh, yeah, true
life.
that. Yeah, not in real life. I haven't been to one of those type of hotels.
Yeah.
Yet. We're gonna go one day.
Yeah.
We're gonna go and say we did that fancy stuff. We're not gonna go stand on top of a building where it's see through, the ground is see through, and start stomping on it. Don't do that. Don't poke a sleeping bear. And that's what happens. Some of these people in here, they just poke a sleeping bear and just keep poking it until that bear comes and bites their head off and blood gushes out and all kind of crazy stuff.
So you know the basics. I mean, it's always the same with these Final Destination movies. Somebody has a vision, and they try to warn people, and people don't believe them. So that's going to be the same in here. You're going to get that in here. But if you keep seeing stuff happening, it's like, pay attention. But, you know, eventually, like in all the other movies, they do. So it's a lot of, you know, what you expect.
Yeah.
But they also give you some background, and they give you how it started. Basically, that's what we're supposed to believe it started, because next thing you know, they might do like Final Destination 1800 BC or something. With the cavemen, like, huh? Huh?
Well, you know,
Picture in the cave following on him.
death has no time zone, so you know what it could be. He has no
Yeah.
error, no time zone, no nothing. So
Right.
they could do DC.
But-
That would be crazy.
Yeah. But they kind of wrap up some characters, and yeah. You
Well, they
get
made
to
me
see-
feel empathy for the grandmother by showing us who she was beforehand. You know, they didn't just take us to her house where she's blurting all this crazy stuff to her granddaughter about death coming to get her. We got to know him a little bit, and that's what took. It took him not very long, but it took a little longer than I expected for the murders to start.
I guess I
for
could
death
say
to
this. I'm
start
trying to
visiting
like
people.
tiptoe around giving away spoilers, but as I mentioned, Tony Todd is in this.
Oh yes,
and
he
you
has some,
might have heard that. And he's been in like all of them or most of them.
most of them.
And so they do tell you how his story began too, how he knows what he knows. So you get that. Let me read what you have
Yeah,
here.
that was touching.
Producer Craig Perry said to Deadline in an interview that those on set knew that the project was likely to be Tony Todd's last while they were filming it. We all knew that he was obviously quite ill, and it was pretty clear that this was going to be his last role, be the last role he would play in a movie, Perry tells the trade. And in fact, that it was one of the Final Destination movies that made it much more poignant. Though the outlet doesn't go into detail, the upcoming movie apparently explains why Bloodworth is so familiar with Death's plans in the other films, leaving him able to warn characters of what is coming. This is apparently done during a climactic monologue, which is adjusted due to the gravity of Todd's condition. Zach and Adam, our directors, they made a very shrewd decision to take the last couple of lines that were scripted and say, Tony, just say what you want to say to the fans.
Aw.
What would you like to impart on them in this moment? Perry recalls. So everything that makes that scene so emotional is authentic because that was just Tony talking through the camera to the very fans who supported him for so many years.
Aw.
So it was a very magical moment on set. It was an impactful moment. And it's one I'll take with me until I go to the grave.
That is so heartfelt.
I wish I knew that before I saw it. When I saw it, I was like, man, that sounded very personal because I didn't know this. I knew he was sick because you can tell he's very gaunt.
Very
he's
thin.
very thin. But I was like, wow, that was really like personal and impactful. And
You felt it.
not only did it go with the movie, but I felt like he was talking to us. And then when I got home and I saw this, I was like, okay, that's why.
and it's true. You felt he did his job.
Yeah, he did pass from stomach cancer.
Yeah. That's so sad. Because we here at Phoenix FearCon, you know, we used to have Phoenix FearCon every year. And there were many times we wanted to try to get Tony Todd here, but we couldn't get him here. But I wanted to meet him so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just sad. Even his voice sounded different
Yeah.
in here. I mean, you could tell it was him, but his voice sounded totally different. That was really heartfelt. And just seeing him
was.
on the screen, even knowing that he was going to be in the movie. I was already going to see it anyways, but then just seeing what's probably maybe his last, I'm assuming probably his last movie that
He
he's
made
done.
like 2 movies
Two
right
more.
before he passed. This one and another one that I
Okay.
can't recall it. But I think it was just so special that they gave him that opportunity to say what he wanted to say, you know, and not hold him back or make him read the lines. They were just like, just speak from the heart.
Very personal and heartfelt, very much so. Oh, Tony Todd. Oh, bless
Yeah.
him.
The beer the family is drinking during the barbecue is Heist Pale Ale, a fictional brand that has appeared in the series since Final Destination 2, which came out in 2003.
It's been that long. And you know what's funny? I like when they place little props.
Yeah.
There's a show called Psych that used to be on. And every show there would be a pineapple somewhere. And you just had to find out where what scene it was on.
Oh, that's cool.
That is fun.
Yeah.
So this one, how many clappers would you give this Final Destination?
I liked it, but there's still some stuff that I was like, okay, that's just kind of dumb. So I'm going to give it a 3. But I would suggest you see it, especially if you're a fan of Tony Todd, and then you get to see one of his last performances, and you
Out of
get to see him
respect.
say goodbye, like directly to you. So I would recommend it for that. But I'm just going to give it a 3 because there was stuff we were just sitting in the
Just
movie
going like this.
Come
like,
on.
You just doing this. Are you serious?
Right.
I have to totally agree with you here. And I'm going to be honest. I was a little disappointed with this one
Yeah.
because it was not very gory. all of the Final Destinations before this have outdone it with the kills. This one just didn't have it there. They were very basic kills to me. They were basic for a Final Destination type movie. They wouldn't be basic for you watching an everyday drama.
Oh yeah, no.
But compared to the other ones, I don't know why they didn't put more, glorified kills in here, creative kills.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that much, and it was predictable. But again, we're just going with the regular 3 because it follows the pattern that the last ones did. It just wasn't as good. I was a little bit let down, but I was happy, and heart got a little full seeing Tony Todd in there. Have
and
to
they
see it.
do a nod to the previous one with the truck with the logs on it.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I seen they had some billboards up promoting the movie with the log trucks, and then they had some construction workers that looked like they were falling off of the billboard. I was like, I hope that doesn't cause accidents and nobody calls 911 thinking that somebody really is up there. But that log truck shot from the back is like infamous now. Anytime you see that, you think Final Destination.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I move not because of Final Destination, but because I actually was behind a semi before that was carrying cars on the 10, and a car fell off. I don't know. It was maybe around lunchtime. Luckily, there weren't other people on the highway right behind it. I couldn't believe my eyes because when it fell, it hit and all the glass just shattered. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just saw that.
Oh my gosh.
So I won't drive behind any of those anymore. And that was scary. But thank God nobody was hurt. Just that car, just the car, just the metal. So yeah, go ahead. This is, if you're into the Final Destinations, you have to see this one. You absolutely have to.
Yeah, the tomato meter is giving it 92%.
Yes.
So that's the critics
Okay.
right there. And then the popcorn meter is giving it 90%. So people
obviously
enjoyed it way more than us, but we've seen all of them. And I'm like, come on, this is really kind of, it's a little bit more fantasy. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
You just have to put your brain to the side. Because I'm sitting there picking out things like, not like just the way that death kills, but just you'll see. You'll see.
You'll feel it.
Like,
it's just something, like I said, with me, I'm going to always see them. Even though this one was just a 3, I'm going to see it anyways. And then you got to give that respect to Tony Todd as well.
Yeah.
So that's our take on Final Destination Bloodlines. Go ahead and take a look at it. Go matinee if you go to the theater to see it. Or if you just want to wait till it streams, you'll want to watch it. Put it that way. Yeah. Either way it goes, but go matinee.
I want to watch it again. And,
Me too.
And see his monologue at the end again, because that was very touching.
Every now and then I'll have days where I just do a marathon on something. Like I might watch all the Underworlds or something like that, just for the fun. When I'm sitting at home cooking, nothing to think about too much. But it's always exciting to watch those. Yes.
Underworlds.
I love them. Well, there you have our review of Final Destination Bloodlines. Go take a look at it at theaters right now. It's currently airing. Don't forget that Jules and we are on Cash App, first and foremost. If you'd like to make a donation, anything is appreciated. Or do you want, you have a legitimate company, you want to sponsor us, we'll wear your hat, your t-shirts, bracelets, whatever that is. Let us know, get with our inbox, and we'll respond to you within 48 hours. We are also on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We want to shout out all of our new viewers that we have. We have so much, especially with YouTube going on. It's really great. So thank you for following us and chatting with us. Yes. Yeah. Let us know what you want to see. We take requests. Just let us know what movie it is. It doesn't matter what genre. We'll review it and shout you out on the show. All righty? All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.